Hey everybody, welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah.
You know how this works. You send us the good stuff and we dig in deep. You bring us the good stuff and we get to unpack it together.
Exactly.
This time you guys wanted to hear more about this Afrobeats power couple, Peter and Lola Okoye. Peter, of course, from the iconic duo P-Square.
Yeah.
And the deep dive that we're doing is all about a video that Lola posted, or a video that she was in anyway, dancing with another artist at an event.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of got people talking online, but what's really got everyone buzzing is Peter's response.
Yeah, what's really fascinating here is how Peter's response goes beyond just, addressing this one specific situation. It kind of gives us a window into what seems like a really secure relationship dynamic.
Right.
And I think that's what people are finding so refreshing, especially when it comes to, the world of celebrity relationships.
Right, and it's like on the surface, Lola's just out there having a good time at an event, and of course people online got to make a big deal about it. But Peter didn't even really entertain that. He posted the video himself with a caption, basically saying, "Look at my wife enjoying life while I'm here minding my business."
It's so good. It's brilliant for a few reasons. First of all, he used humor, which immediately just disarms the whole situation. You can't really be critical when someone's making you laugh.
Right.
And then secondly, he shows this level of trust in Lola and their relationship
Yeah.
that speaks volumes. And then finally, he took control of the whole narrative.
Totally.
By posting the video himself, he takes the power away from anyone who is trying to stir up any kind of drama or controversy.
Yeah, it's like he's changing the whole celebrity gossip game.
Yeah.
Instead of letting rumors kind of dictate the story, he's choosing to be transparent and confident.
Right.
Which I think is a really interesting move.
It is. And it's kind of a subtle but effective way of saying, hey, we're good over here, and we're not going to let outside noise, dictate how we live our lives. This kind of reminds me of other instances where Peter has publicly defended Lola from, online trolls and negativity.
Oh, yeah?
They have this history of handling these types of situations with grace and choosing to focus on their bond instead of, letting the negativity win.
It's interesting how this very simple incident kind of opens up this bigger conversation.
Yeah.
About celebrity culture, fan behavior, even the global rise of Afrobeats.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. And it even touches on, I think, this phenomenon known as parasocial relationships.
Oh, true.
Where fans develop these kind of one-sided bonds with celebrities, sometimes even blurring the lines between their own lives and the lives of these stars they follow.
So are you saying like some fans feel a sense of ownership over these celebrities' personal lives?
In a way, yeah. And especially with Afrobeats becoming more and more popular worldwide.
Yeah.
That level of scrutiny is only going to intensify, so it really begs the question, how can fans continue to celebrate and support these artists without overstepping boundaries or contributing to, unnecessary drama?
That is the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think our listener definitely wants to hear more about that.
Oh, sure.
But before we get into that, I want to take a quick look at how the public reacted to Peter's response.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because the public's reaction to all of this kind of adds another layer to this whole conversation.
Right. You've got fans on Twitter, like @NijagasQueen, who said, "Peter Okoye is a whole mood. The way he's unbothered gives me life."
Oh, love that.
And then @Afrobeats Lover chiming in with, "This is why Peter and Lola remain goals. They're mature and fun at the same time." It seems like people are really resonating with their approach here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really heartwarming to see that kind of support. It suggests that maybe we're starting to shift away from, tearing down celebrity couples and instead celebrating the ones that are, handling fame and relationships with this kind of authenticity and humor. But what do you think? What stands out to you the most about this whole situation?
Honestly, what I keep coming back to is just how much Peter's response highlights the strength of their relationship.
Yeah.
He's not threatened by Lola having fun with someone else. He trusts her, and he's secure enough to just express that publicly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty powerful statement.
I completely agree with you. But do you think there's any risk of his approach being misinterpreted, especially in a world where everything is just so intensely analyzed online?
Yeah.
Do you think people could see it as dismissive or even insensitive?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I think it really comes down to understanding the context
Right.
and the dynamics of their relationship.
Yeah. Right.
And that's where things, I think, get even more interesting.
It really does. Yeah, it really does. It makes you think about the bigger picture, like how celebrity relationships are portrayed in the media.
It's true.
We've seen so many couples just fall victim to that intense scrutiny
Yeah.
and that pressure. it doesn't always end well.
No, it doesn't. It seems like every little interaction is just put under the microscope.
Right.
Blown out of proportion.
Yeah, exactly.
And leads to all these rumors and controversies that can really damage a relationship.
And it's not even just traditional media anymore. Social media has just taken that scrutiny to a whole other level.
Yeah, it's like a constant microscope on everything you do.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you even navigate that? How do you maintain a healthy relationship?
Right.
When it feels like the whole world has an opinion about your personal life?
It's definitely not easy. It takes a strong foundation.
Yeah.
Trust communication and a shared understanding of just what you're up against, the pressures you're facing. Peter and Lola seem to have found that balance.
Yeah.
But not every couple is so lucky.
Do you think that's part of the reason why we see so many breakups and so much drama
Oh, I think so.
with celebrity couples?
I think that constant pressure definitely plays a role.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the external pressure either.
Yeah.
When you're constantly in the spotlight, it's hard to separate your public persona from your private life.
Right.
And that can create confusion and tension within the relationship.
It's like your personal life becomes part of the entertainment.
Right.
Whether you want it to or not.
Exactly. Which
Yeah.
brings us back to the question of, how can fans support these artists
Yeah.
without contributing to that kind of intrusive dynamic?
It's a tricky thing, right? Because you want to be engaged. And excited about the artists you love.
Of course.
But there's a fine line between support and invasion of privacy.
Absolutely. It's about remembering that these celebrities are human beings too.
Right.
With their own complex lives and emotions. Their relationships are their own.
Yeah.
And they deserve that same respect and boundaries as anyone else.
So how do we find that balance? How do we show our support without getting overly invested in their personal lives?
I think it starts with being more mindful of the content that we're consuming and the comments that we're making online.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the gossip and the drama.
Oh, totally.
But we have a choice
Yeah.
to focus on the art and the positive aspects of their careers.
So it's about shifting that focus from their personal lives to their creative output.
Right.
Appreciating them for their talent.
Exactly.
And not their relationship status.
It's about being a conscious consumer of celebrity culture.
I like that.
And choosing to engage in a way that's respectful and supportive.
This is such a good point.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what stands out to you about this shift in fan culture? What needs to change for us to have a healthier dynamic?
I think recognizing the power dynamics at play is huge. For a long time, celebrities were seen as untouchable figures.
Right.
But social media has blurred those lines. Fans can have a huge impact on an artist's career.
Yeah.
But we need to wield that influence responsibly.
We underestimate the power of our words and actions.
Yeah.
Especially when they're amplified by social media.
Exactly. And we also need greater media literacy.
Okay.
We have to be critical of the narratives we see about celebrities and their relationships. We can't fall into that trap of sensationalism and clickbait.
So be more skeptical of what we read and hear about celebrities.
I think healthy skepticism is never a bad thing. It helps us think critically. It helps us not just accept everything at face value. Be discerning consumers of information.
Yeah.
Because there's often more to the story than what's in the headlines.
That's true.
But at the same time, remember, celebrities are people too.
Right.
And we should treat them with the same respect and consideration that we would anyone else.
That's such an important reminder, especially now, when it's so easy to forget the human element.
Right.
And Peter and Lola's story is a great example of how, even in the craziness of celebrity culture, a genuine connection can shine through. They seem to have figured out how to navigate all of this.
Yeah.
By prioritizing their relationship and setting those healthy boundaries.
Absolutely. Their approach is a valuable lesson for all of us.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting to me is how this whole thing goes beyond just celebrity gossip.
Okay.
It touches on some fundamental aspects of human relationships and how we interact with each other in this increasingly interconnected world.
It's so true. What are some of those deeper takeaways that we can all learn from this and apply to our own lives? Whether we're in the public eye or not. For me, it's that open communication and trust, in any relationship.
Yeah.
Peter and Lola just laughing it off.
Right.
And not letting it become this big thing.
Exactly.
It says a lot about their bond.
It really does. It shows that they have this unspoken understanding and that foundation of trust that helps them navigate stuff like this without turning it into drama.
Right. It's like they're on the same page.
Yeah.
And you can just feel that.
You can. It's powerful.
It also shows how important it is to choose your battles.
That's huge.
Like at the end of the day, this wasn't really a big deal.
Yeah.
By not giving in to all the negativity.
Right.
Peter and Lola were able to just stay grounded and focus on what really matters.
That's so important in life in general.
It is.
We live in a world where it's so easy to just get caught up in all the noise.
Oh, yeah.
And the drama. But you have to step back sometimes and ask yourself, is this really worth my energy?
Right.
Sometimes the best response is no response.
It's like they're choosing to kind of rise above it all.
Yeah.
Focus on the good stuff.
Exactly.
In their lives and their relationship.
And that can be so powerful, especially with all the negativity that can surround celebrity culture.
Yeah.
By not playing into that drama, they're setting an example for their fans.
Right.
Like, hey, look, you can have a healthy and happy relationship even when you're in the spotlight.
It's like they're taking back control.
Yeah.
And defining their relationship on their own terms.
Exactly.
Not letting the media or the public dictate their behavior.
I love that. That's such a valuable lesson for all of us.
I agree.
You know, whether we're celebrities or not. We all have the power to choose how we respond to outside pressure. Focus on what truly matters in our relationships.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some of the key takeaways for our listeners to think about?
I think it really boils down to a few basic principles.
Okay.
Building that foundation of trust and communication, picking your battles, focusing on the positive, and not taking everything so seriously.
Right.
You know, being able to laugh things off.
I love that.
Those are all qualities that can strengthen any relationship.
Right.
Romantic, platonic, familial, you name it.
And setting boundaries.
Too.
Peter and Lola are clearly very good at that.
They are.
Knowing their limits.
Yeah.
And communicating them. So important for healthy relationships.
Especially now when it's so easy to overshare.
Right.
And blur those lines.
This has been a really great deep dive.
It has.
It's amazing how one little incident
I know.
Can spark such a big conversation.
Right.
About celebrity culture relationships and just being genuine.
It's a reminder that there's always more to the story.
Yeah.
Than what you see on the surface.
It is.
And it's through conversations like this that we can all learn and grow.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Of course.
We hope you enjoyed it, and we encourage you to keep thinking about these things and you navigate your own relationships and your journey through life.
It was my pleasure diving deep with you.
And to our listeners, until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those conversations flowing.